Okay, so what is this, like the second night of Hanukkah? Are you guys, your earthen vessels, is the light starting to shine? You filling up with oil, the oil of the Spirit? This is a symbol. And it's a tree, and we're like living trees that are rooted and planted in rivers of living water. And we yield forth our fruit in due season, whose leaf shall not wither. But the wicked are not so, but they are like the chaff which the wind drives away. And sometimes when you have high winds, not fun, makes your hair straight, makes it all crazy. And it makes you hard. Do you guys ever have a hard time in the wind? Like your brain, it just makes it feel foggy. Sometimes I like the wind, but I don't like the strong high winds because it makes my hair straight. But not so much that, it makes me feel fuzzy, like I'm not really thinking very clearly, and I don't like that. But I'm glad it's kind of calmed down a little bit. Okay. So today I was just on the phone for a couple of hours, texting and talking at the same time. And we were looking for some codes or statutes that talk about why you don't need insurance. Now, I want to go the opposite way for a second. Get on my Finder here. Oh, don't want to see all that stuff. How do we get out of there? Get out of there. Nope, don't mean to go there. I want to learn how to use my computer. That's what I want to learn how to do. What are we going to look for? We're going to look up Prop 213. Oops, all my stuff is showing. Okay, I guess I don't know how to use this thing. Get out of here. Don't you hate it when that, see, I'm going to blame it on the wind. Not because I have any screw loose or anything like that. I'm just saying. Sometimes I just, can't always think clearly. Okay. So we do like Telegram. Yes, we do. But we're looking at Prop 213. This has got to do with insurance, and those insurance people, they will say, if you don't have insurance, then you're not going to be able to claim missed work time and stuff because of this. So let's see what this is. What is Prop 213 and how does it affect California drivers? I want you to remember the word drivers. Let's see. What is California Proposition 213? Dolan Law Firm. Let's just go there. Let's look at the Dolan Law Firm and see what they have to say. Hey, Dolan. Okay, so let's just see what it says. Answer: Prop 213 prevents drivers injured in a car accident from obtaining damages for their pain and suffering, even when the accident was not their fault, if they lack car insurance or the car they were driving was not covered by insurance. You see how wicked and evil? I'm just saying, these insurance companies, man, they are into loss prevention. Well, we need to be into loss prevention too. Am I sharing the screen or not? I don't know. I don't know that I am. Let's share the screen, shall we? Share the screen. I'm going to show it to you again. Sorry, I guess I wasn't sharing it. See how? I'm just saying, now I moved all my stuff. I got to hand cover up that stuff. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness. I'm going to blame it on the wind. Those insurance companies, they're into hanging on to every little piece that they got. So what they're going to try to do is, if you don't have insurance for your car or for you right here, what this Prop 213 does is it prevents drivers injured in a car accident from obtaining damages for their pain and suffering, even when the accident was not their fault if they lack car insurance, or if the car they were driving was not covered by insurance. I want to bring your attention to this word right here. See that word? Car. 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 This is a car. See that right there is a car. The problem that we're dealing with is they change the words, because sometimes they use the word motor vehicle, like when you're talking about the DMV, it's motor vehicle, or the California vehicle code, it's vehicle or motor vehicle. And now here we go, they're using the word car. I know it sounds like semantics. Here's another thing, drivers. We know from the legal dictionary that drivers means drivers for hire, drivers being paid. So what am I trying to say here? There's these legislations, there's these rules that get put in place and they affect the people. So as a political sociologist, I care about people and I understand about the different groups of people and how the legislators make legislation that takes away from the people and harms the people. Right, those are the things I care about, I guess. So let me just read this little thing down here so that you can see what it says. In California, this is the state of California. Notice how it says in California and it's spelled properly. That's telling you the state of California. But if you look at your, where is it? If you look at your title for your car, it's going to say State of California, all in capitalized words or letters. That's not really the same here. I know you're thinking, you're splitting hairs there. That's because they are doing that too. So we just have to remember they're doing the state of California, and then there's the state of California. Spelled properly. Two different things. It really is. It's like that. It really is. So let me read what this says right here. In California, if you are injured in an automobile collision, your damages may be limited depending on whether there was insurance on the car you were driving. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? The insurance industry spent millions to pass this proposition in 1996. It has generated billions in profits for them, for the insurance industry, because Californians without auto insurance, injured in a car crash through no fault of their own, are shortchanged in the compensation they can obtain for their injuries from the driver who caused the crash. Yeah, that's not cool. Okay, so what is this? How Prop 2013 works? What's that? Is that something different? That's weird. 2013. I thought it was 213. Weird. See that? That's kind of weird. See, this is 2013 and this is 213. What are they doing here? Did they make a mistake? Or was that in the year 2013? No, I don't think so. It was in 1996. See? Did they make an error right there? Was the vehicle you were driving insured at the time of the accident? If yes, Proposition 213 does not apply. You are entitled to a full recovery for your injuries. There is no limitation on the damages you may recover. If no, were you a passenger or the driver of the car? Oh, now they're going to split hairs there now. If you were a passenger, Proposition 213 does not apply. You are entitled to a full recovery for your injuries. That's good. You may recover both economic and non-economic damages. Well, that's good. Guess it's good to be the passenger if you ever get in an accident, if the driver doesn't have insurance in the car. What if the passenger switches places and drives, and the owner was the passenger? Oh my God. If you were the driver of a car that was not covered by insurance, Proposition 213 applies, which is bad. Subject to the exceptions below, in this situation, the driver is entitled to recover only economic damages, such as lost wages and medical expenses. Wait, read that again. Subject to the exceptions below. In this situation, in what situation? If you were the driver of a car that was not covered by insurance, then this proposition applies. Subject to the exceptions below, in this situation, the driver is entitled to recover only economic damages, such as lost wages and medical expenses. The driver may not recover non-economic damages. Do you see how they do this? Oh my gosh, they're splitting hairs all over the place. So when you're saying that I'm talking semantics, come on, you got to know that they are bifurcating all this stuff. Look at economic damages versus non-economic. Come on, you guys. The driver may not recover non-economic damages, including damages for pain and suffering, disability, disfigurement, and emotional distress. So those right there, they're trying to say if you're in a car or driving in a car and you didn't make the accident, someone else hit you and you don't have insurance, then you may not recover from the non-economic damages, meaning, you know, not your lost wages or medical expenses, but including damages for pain and suffering, disability, disfigurement, and emotional distress. Important Proposition 213 exceptions. We understand that there may be situations in which you may not have insurance or believed mistakenly that the car you were driving had insurance coverage. We are committed to obtaining the maximum recovery allowed under the law for injured car drivers, whether or not they own a car insurance policy. Certain exceptions to the harsh rule of Prop 213 have developed. Prop 213 does not apply when the car operator was driving his or her employer's uninsured vehicle. Oh. See, that's a different variable right there, huh? So if you work at a place where they had a vehicle and it was uninsured, then it doesn't apply. You'll get your pain and suffering. Here's another one. The accident occurred on private property. I guess if you're going to get in an accident and you don't have insurance, make sure it's on private property if you want the insurance benefits. The owner of the vehicle did not have insurance, but the driver who borrowed the car did have insurance on another car. Oh my gosh. Can you tell ya? They are so good at getting out of their little things. This legislation for you right here, folks. In this case, the driver is considered insured and entitled to his or her full measure of damages. Finally, even if Prop 213 applies, meaning you don't get the pain and suffering things, a skilled and committed car accident attorney, because this is where our advertisement's going to kick in right here, can obtain for you every penny you are owed for your economic damages, such as your property damage. medical bills, and lost wages. Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see what he said? They're saying for your economic damages, but we were talking about the non-economic damages. So do you see how they did that sliding scale there just in this one sentence? Finally, even if Prop 213 applies where you don't get the non-economic damages, a skilled and committed car accident attorney can obtain for you every penny you are owed for your economic damages. Duh. Such as your property damage. Duh. Medical bills and lost wages. Do you see how they do that? It's like the sin of omission. They are omitting the non-economic damages. They're like saying, but a skilled and committed car accident attorney can obtain for you every penny owed for your economic damages, the ones that they're already going to do. I'm just saying. Anyways, so then the rest of it's a advertisement. All right, so now what we want to look up is, hey, whoa, bitty, bo, bitty. Let's get up there. So, isn't there some type of a code that talks about what is considered, like you could have insurance or a bond? Let me just type that up in that search bar. Insurance or a bond. Let's see if anything pops up here. Hey, California surety bond. Surety bonds. Okay, bonded insurance companies. Surety bonds versus insurance. Let's go down there and see what that says. Insurance protects the business owner, homeowner, professional. Okay, let's just, surety bonds versus insurance bonds. And I'm trying to remember, was it Form 28, Standard Form 28? Yeah. All right, so let's see, what's this? First things first, yes, there's a difference between surety bonds versus insurance. Several, in fact. And Brunswick Companies is positioned to help you with both. This is an advertisement. Here are how insurance and surety bonds differ. What is the difference between surety bonds versus insurance? Insurance is a form of risk management. Oh, wait. Risk management. Did you see that, you guys? Where else have we talked about going to the risk management? Have you ever heard that before? When you want to complain, can I have your risk management phone number, please? Have you ever heard that? Some people have. Insurance is a form of risk management that functions like a contract. What? Functions like a contract? Or is it a contract? Insurance is a form of, okay, insurance is a contract. In between, insurance is a form of risk management that functions like. Insurance is a contract between the person or business being insured and the insurance company. The insurance policy guarantees that the insurance company will compensate the insured when a covered loss occurs. So they're kind of betting on the fact that, maybe you'll have no losses, maybe you will have a loss. So you should probably get insurance for that rainy day. That's what they tell you, So they're all kind of betting that, well, they're going to give us a lot of money. Maybe nothing will ever happen. But then when something does happen, then, so a surety bond. Oh, wait 1 second. Do you see how they're saying this now? A surety bond is also, wait a minute, a contract. Just hold the phone up here because you were kind of making it look like insurance wasn't a contract, even though it says insurance is a form of risk management that functions like a contract. No, insurance is a contract. Get real. Come on. A surety bond is also a contract. Hey, we have the same thing. Insurance or a surety bond. Let's just see what else this is. But between 3 parties, the person doing the work, principal, the person requiring the work, obligee, and the surety company providing the bond, the surety. The bond guarantees, the bond guarantees that the principal will fulfill the terms of the contract. What contract? And if they don't, the obligee can file a claim against the bond to recover their losses from the surety. Oh. Who is protected with a surety bond versus insurance? Insurance protects, insurance protects the business owner, homeowner, professional, and more from financial loss when a claim occurs. So the insurance protects the business owner, homeowner, professional, and more from financial loss when a claim occurs. Like, you did something bad to me. You chopped off my head or something, or whatever it is. Hey, let's go up. Why is when I go up, it's going down? Okay. Now, here's this other one. Surety bonds. Come on, I don't want to see the whole thing. Come on, I don't want the whole thing at the same time. Surety bonds protect the obligee who contracted with the principal to perform specific work on a project by reimbursing them when a claim occurs. Let's read that again. Surety bonds protect the obligee, I am obliged, who contracted with the principal to perform specific work on a project by reimbursing them when a claim occurs. So how do premiums work for surety bonds versus insurance? Insurance premiums are designed to rip you off. To cover the potential losses a person or business might incur due to negligent acts, disasters, or other covered events. Surety bond premiums are designed to guarantee that the principal fulfills his contractual obligations. How are claims handled for surety bonds versus insurance? Insurance companies will investigate what happened when a person or business makes a claim against their insurance policy. If the claim is found to be a covered loss, as outlined in the policy, the insurance company will reimburse the insured. The insurance company has no expectation of reimbursement for what they pay to the insured for a covered loss claim. Surety companies will work with the obligee and the principal when a claim is filed against the bond. I guess you got to have a claim filed against the bond. If the surety concludes that the obligee's claim is legitimate, the surety will expect the principal to either respond to, resolve, or defend the claim. If the principal fails to do any of those things or does not satisfy the obligee's claim, then the surety may step in to resolve the situation in one of the several ways based on the specific case. The surety company does expect the principal to reimburse them for all expenses incurred during the investigation and settlement of the claim. All right, so that was the explanation of that and that, because you could have one or the other. So let me just look at the California Vehicle Code on insurance. Remember, the vehicle code is motor vehicle. Here we go. Proof of financial responsibility, 16028A. Vehicle code. Proof of financial responsibility. Let's see. All right, so vehicle code 16028A, BC, proof of insurance, is the California statute that requires motorists to carry proof of financial responsibility when driving their vehicles. Proof of financial responsibility is the legal term for proof of automobile insurance. A party must provide this documentation to law enforcement when requested to do so. So here we go. It says 16028A VC vehicle code states that upon the demand of a peace officer, are they Shalom officer? Every person, does that say person? It does, it says person. What have we learned about person? Person is an individual. Individual. I have been bifurcated into a thing. Two separate things. Who drives? That's another word. Drives. What is driver? Driver is one who is for hire, making money on the roadways. Oh, wait, what else? A motor vehicle. Wait a minute, in that other ad, it said car. How come this one says motor vehicle? Because this is vehicle code. Motor vehicle is one that's for hire on the roadways. That is the definition of motor vehicle. Upon a highway shall provide evidence of financial responsibility for the vehicle that is in effect at the time the demand is made. A California citation for not carrying insurance is an infraction. This is opposed to a California misdemeanor or a felony. Offenders will receive a ticket and must pay a fine in the amount of $100 to $200. A minimum insurance requirements for, look at this, how they call it, private passenger vehicles. Now they're adding more variables here. Now they're calling it private passenger vehicles instead of motor vehicles. Come on, when did they change that? So you got 15,000 for injury or death to one person. That's it? Oh my gosh, what if you killed somebody? 15,000. Ooh. 30,000 for injury, death to more than one person, and 5,000. That's it for damage to property. 5,000 for damage to property. That's it. Like your car. 5,000 for damage to property. That's not very much. That's not very much at all. Some motorists cannot afford insurance. If so, they may be eligible for the low-cost automobile insurance program. Note that it is considered auto insurance fraud if a person carries insurance from another state. That's weird. And does so because the rates in the other state are lower. Our California criminal defense attorneys will discuss the following in this article. What if a person does not have proof of insurance? What type of car insurance does the state require drivers to carry? What if a person cannot afford insurance? What if someone stops driving a vehicle? That's interesting. Let me break that down. Can someone reside in California and carry insurance from another state? They just are saying, don't do that. What is bodily injury liability insurance? What are the consequences of a 16028A VC ticket? Well, I don't know where my ticket is. Where should I have? Where did I put that ticket? I don't know. I have to check it out, see if it's there. Oh, okay. Well, a 162.8A VC ticket, vehicle code ticket, carries a $900 fine and no DMV points in California. What does that mean? No DMV points. The $900 includes a base fine of $100 to $200 plus penalty assessments. But if the defendant can show he or she had insurance at the time of the violation, the court should dismiss the case for a $25 administrative fee. Ooh. Or if the defendant gets insurance soon after the violation, prosecutors may be open to reducing the fine and may even dismiss the charge. That's good to know. As a non-moving violation, a 16028A vehicle code ticket is often referred to as a fix-it ticket. Really? Your light is out. That's a fix-it ticket. Or a correctable offense, because courts are usually willing to dismiss the charge or reduce the fine once the defendant shows proof of insurance after the fact. It's good to know. And in most cases, the defendant's attorney can appear in court without the defendant having to personally be there. Note that a subsequent 16028A VC ticket within 3 years is also an infraction. But the base penalty is $200 to $500. With penalty assessments, the total fine is around $1,200. Although this rarely happens, the court also has the discretion to impound the vehicle for good cause shown. The registered owner can retrieve the car upon showing evidence of financial responsibility. So we learned that financial responsibility to them here in the California Vehicle Code means to have insurance, auto insurance. So up here, what if someone stops driving a vehicle? Drivers can cancel their insurance if they stop driving for whatever reason. If they do, they have to submit an affidavit of non-use form to the DMV. A person may obtain either this form by calling this number. So affidavit of non-use is that car that's sitting over there in your parking lot, not being used, okay? It's not driving, you're not driving it. It doesn't mean you can go to the store and use the car, according to this thing. I'm just saying. Because you're not using it. You're giving it affidavit. So let's see, what else does it say? What type of car insurance does the state require drivers to carry? California proof of insurance certificate. Oh, hey, what's this? A notification of alternative forms of responsibility. Was this hiding somewhere? Let's see. A notification of alternative forms. What alternative forms would that be? Let's see. Wow, it's a whole new world. Oh, hey, DMV allows customers to avoid coming to a DMV office for 60 days. Huh? Alerts California law enforcement that some Californians may have delayed renewals. Oh, for expired licenses. Oh. And registration. Oh, is that right? Oh. Oh. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the California Department of Motor Vehicles today asked California law enforcement to exercise discretion for 60 days. In their enforcement of driver license. Oh, that was in March. And vehicle registration expiration dates. Oh, beginning March 16, 2020. The DMV is taking this action so that at-risk populations, whatever that means, including seniors and those with underlying health conditions, can avoid required visits to DMV field offices for driver license or vehicle registration renewals. Oh, I gotcha. Well, we were looking for that other thing. The other reason or the other dozens of DMV tasks can be easily, yeah. The real ID. Oh, wait, just 1 second. What's this real ID thing? Is this the other one? I don't know. What is this? California law enforcement is encouraged to exercise flexibility and discretion when reviewing driver license. Read it really well, people. Or identification and vehicle registration records, if applicable. DMV may waive vehicle registration penalties. Oh, how nice of you. All DMV offices remain open at this time to process those transactions that must be taken care of in an office, including real ID. The DMV has implemented many processes improvements and incorporated technological solutions to increase access to DMV outside of the office and decrease the amount of time someone has to spend at a DMV office. For real ID, the federal government, isn't that Washington, D.C.? The 10 square mile, requires an office visit. Washington, D.C. requires an office visit. Real ID customers can fill out the online application before going into an office. In 23 offices throughout the state, customers can upload their Real ID documents before their office visit. What? Acting like it's the doctors now? Are they going to start giving shots at the DMV now? This option will be statewide by June. June what? Of what year? Let me scroll up for a second. 2020. This option. Oh, the option. For what? For Real ID, the federal government requires an office visit. Real ID customers can fill out the online application before going into the office. Customers can upload their Real ID before their office visit. This option. What option? Is this a different option other than insurance? Because that's what I thought we were looking at. I thought we were looking at the option of something other than insurance. Because I could have sworn I had read something where it said you could do a bond or insurance. By the way, DMV Department of Motor Vehicles. Motor vehicles is for hire. This is all commerce, UCC commerce, this whole thing. I loathe dealing with the DMV. I can't get myself to want to do it. I just can't. I can't. I just can't. So what is this? A California proof of insurance certificate? That's what I thought. I thought we were looking at that. Oh no, we looked at the notification. Oh wait, what is this? Oh, this is something different. Following a California DUI conviction. Oh boy, that's a driving under the influence. California. Oh, so if you ever, had a DUI and you want to reinstate your license following a DMV suspension or revocation, it is also necessary in order to continue driving with an ignition interlock device. It's probably that thing that you blow into. Although they are most commonly associated with DUI-related license, may be necessary. This article, California DUI attorneys. Okay. Now, we weren't talking about this. I was talking about certificate of insurance. Your auto insurance company files with the California Department of Motor Vehicles. Yeah, that's for hire, motor vehicles for hire. In order to confirm that you meet the state's minimum insurance requirements for auto insurance liability coverage, once your California driver's license has been suspended or revoked, either because you lost your DMV DUI hearing, or because you didn't request one, or because you got convicted, insurance policy is necessary to reinstate your driving privilege. Privilege, did you notice that? Driving privilege, that's something that you pay for. Privilege and benefits is something that you pay for. Driving means you're for hire. It's also necessary to order to continue driving with an initial interlock. Yeah. Reinstating, okay. Wet reckless suspension, whoa. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. Well, we really want to look, first of all, California Vehicle Code 21052. The provision of this code applicable to the drivers of vehicles upon the highways apply to the drivers of all vehicles while engaged in the course of government employment. That's interesting. Let's read this again. This is the vehicle code, rules of the road, obedience to, and effective traffic laws. Effective traffic laws. The provisions of this code applicable to the drivers of vehicles upon the highways apply to the drivers of all vehicles while engaged in the course of employment by the state. Yeah. Applicable to the drivers of vehicles upon the highways apply to the drivers of all vehicles while engaged in the course of employment by this state. Now, it's kind of interesting that this state is spelled properly. Kind of makes it almost look like state employee, like the real state. Doesn't it? Because not all capitalized. Any political subdivision thereof, any municipal corporation or any district, including authorized emergency vehicles subject to those exemptions granted such authority, emergency vehicles in this code. All right, let me just look up standard form 28. Let me just see what that looks like. Hey, this is different. Let me just look at this. Hang on a second. Abracadabra. Going a little slow here. Hey, GSA forms, library. Affidavit of individual surety. This form is intended for use by government contractors. Did they just say that employment for the state? I think they did. In contracting personnel for compliance with and management of financial security requirements in federal government contracts. Did we see something over there that said federal government, like Washington, D.C.? I think it did. Any other use? Any other use is void of purpose. This is kind of interesting. Hey, look at that. Transportation fringe benefits. Oh. Notice of inspection. Hey, request for religious exemption to the COVID-19 vaccination requirement. Hey, some people might be interested in that. Where do you look for it? GSA.gov. Architect. Okay, certificate pertaining to foreign interests. Oh, foreign interests. Hey, revocable license for non-federal use of real property. What's that? Let me just look at that for a second. What does that mean? Authority, lease acquisition handbook and outlease program handbook. Revocable license for non-federal use of real property. That sounds interesting. Choose the link below to begin downloading. Okay, let me just see. Click on it. Do you want to allow downloads? Okay. Oh, boom. What does this mean? A revocable license affecting the property described and for the purpose designated below is hereby granted to the licensee herein named, subject to all of the conditions special and general hereinafter enumerated. What is this? What is this down here? I certify that I was a secretary, certificate of corporate licensee. What is this? If licensee is a corporation, the following certificate of licensee must be executed. If licensee is a corporation. Oh. What is this up here? By the acceptance of this license. Oh, this is a license. Revocable license. This thing is a license right here. This thing is a revocable license for non-federal use of real property. So this thing, this piece of paper is a revocable license. You could say, I don't want to do it anymore. Of non-federal use of real property. I wonder what real property is. I certify that I was a secretary of the corporation named as licensee herein, that the person who signed said license on behalf of the licensee was with said corporation, and that said license was duly signed for on behalf of said corporation by authority of its governing body and is within the scope of its corporate powers. General Service Administration. Oh. GSA bonds, General Service Administrator. Oh, interesting. Compliance, any use made of, wait a minute, any use made of property affected by the license and any construction, maintenance, repair, or other work performed thereon by the licensee, including the installation and removal of any article or thing shall be accomplished in a manner satisfactory to the U.S. General Services Administration, hereinafter referred to as GSA. Hey, laws and ordinances, structures, laws and ordinances. In the exercise of any privilege granted by this license, licensee shall comply with all applicable federal, state, local government, and municipal laws, statutes. Wow, there's a lot of stuff. You gotta do all these things. Statutes, ordinances, rules, regulations, codes, decrees, orders, and other such requirements. Collectively, laws. Including without limitation, laws regarding wages and hours, health, safety, building codes, emergencies, and security. Licensee shall apply, pay for, and obtain all required licenses and permits. Dang, just saying. Including without limitation licenses and permits for fire and life safety requirements. Hey, indemnification, what does that mean down there? F, the licensee shall indemnify and save harmless the United States, its agents and employees against any and all loss, damage, claim, or liability whatsoever due to personal injury or death, or damage to property of others directly or indirectly due to the exercise by the licensee of the privilege granted by this license, or any other act or omission, oh, something that you don't tell, of the licensee, including failure to comply with the obligations of said license. Oh, okay, so this here is a license. Hey, down there, bond, did you see that? Any bond required by this license shall be in the amount designated above, executed in a manner and form and with sureties satisfactory to the GSA. Did they say how much? Any property of the licensee installed or located on the property affected by the license shall be removed upon 30 days written notice. Expense, any cost. Okay, what is this? No member of Congress. Hey, what's this? No member of Congress to participate or benefit the provisions of the United States Code set forth at 18 U.S.C. subsection 431, contracts by member of Congress, and 41 U.S.C. 6306, prohibition on members of Congress making contracts with federal government. As such provisions may be revised from time to time, are hereby incorporated in this license by this reference as set forth in full. Hey, here's the National Defense Authorization Act. Subsection 889, the provisions of subsection 889 A1B of the John McCain National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2019, Public Law 232. As such provisions may be revised from time to time, are hereby incorporated in this license by this reference, as if set forth in full, and confirmation thereof, the prospective licensee must provide a representation regarding certain telecommunications and video surveillance services or equipment in the form attached hereto as Exhibit A, incorporated into this license by reference. There's late payments. Oh, the breach of license of condition. I'm getting tired. Well, I was kind of looking for that other one that said that you can have insurance or a bond. And I've seen it before. And we were kind of looking at, let me get out here. That one bond, 28. Oh, I think it's standard form 28. Affidavit of individual surety. Just want to see that for a second. Government contractors. Oh yeah, contracting personnel. With and management of financial security requirements. Bonds executed in connection. This form is intended for use by government contractors. What government are we talking about? Federal government? Contracting personnel for compliance with and management of financial security requirements in federal government contracts. Any other use is void of purpose. Huh. Certificate? Okay. Revocable. Oh, yeah, we looked at that. Looked at that. High risk operation. Request for medical exemption. Oh, yeah, we looked at that too. That would be a really good one if you guys, request for medical exemption to the COVID-19 thing. Vaccination. Yeah. Authority or regulation 5 USC 2105. That's for the public health, I'm pretty sure, right? Now, if you're private, you're not public. So you could probably just choose this link. Let me just see what it says. Request for medical exemption to the COVID-19 vaccination requirement. Government-wide policy requires all federal employees. Did you see that? Federal employees, as defined in the United States Code at 5 U.S.C. 2105, to be vaccinated against COVID-19, with exceptions only as required by law. But that says federal employees. If you're not a federal employee, hello. Now, maybe you are a federal employee, so let's see what goes on here. Employees may seek a legal exemption to the vaccination requirement due to a disability using this form. The agency may also ask for other information as needed. Requests for medical accommodation or medical exceptions will be treated as requests for disability accommodation and evaluated, decided under applicable Rehabilitation Act standards for reasonable accommodation absent undue hardship to the agency. Here's another. An employee, I think this is federal, an employee may also request a delay for complying with the vaccination requirement based on certain medical considerations that may not justify an exception under the Rehabilitation Act. Whatever that means. Safer federal workforce. Did you notice it's federal? Force guidance on medical consideration that may warrant a delay is available here. The agency will be required to keep confidential any medical information. How nice. Subject to the applicable Rehabilitation Act, employees who receive an exception or delay from the vaccination requirement would instead comply with alternative health and safety protocols. So it goes on to say that signing this form constitutes a declaration that the information you provide is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and ability. Any intentional misrepresentation to the federal government may result in legal consequences, including termination or removal from federal service. So this is federal request for medical exemption. Okay, that's good to know. Federal, federal, federal. Hey, what's this? While information requested on this form is intended to be used primarily for internal purposes, in certain circumstances, it may be necessary to disclose this information externally. For example, to disclose information to a federal, state, or local agency to the extent necessary to comply with laws governing reporting a communicable disease or other laws concerning health and safety in the work environment. Interesting. So they're going to share your information, basically. All right, well, getting tired now. I didn't find what I was looking for, but there is a code that says that something about alternative things for insurance. And that's the homework. Look for it, find it, and we will discuss that tomorrow.